This is One on One.
It's a very big responsibility to be in this program. To be able to really memorize and connect with the character, that takes a lot of practice and a lot of time.
The fact that I came from another country, so it's a difficult journey. Every day, reading about it and trying to understand him more, understand my character and how to portray him.
Our instructor, he really took me through it and he pushed me to my emotional limit.
One time, actually, I was performing it and I cried and I walked out.
There was a lot of tears in that class.
It wasn't tears of anger, it was tears of joy for relief and finally doing something that I thought I couldn't do.
That's a program called LEAP, and Michael Perreca is the artistic director of theater programs. LEAP stands for?
Learning Through an Expanded Arts Program.
Describe it.
Well, Learning Through an Expanded Arts Program, or LEAP, has been around for 39 years, and we have programs in 160 to 200 schools throughout New York City. I'm the artistic director of the theater programs, so we have a performance-based program called the August Wilson Program, where kids are immersed in the astounding work of August Wilson, playwright, and then Leap on Stage, which is a playwriting program where 10 schools are involved in immersing themselves in the playwriting process. A winner from each one of those schools gets published by Samuel French and performed off-Broadway. So the August Wilson monologue competition culminates on Broadway, Leap on Stage culminates off-Broadway, and it's students' work. It's pretty
What
amazing.
does it do for these young people?
Well, the monologue competition really enhances public speaking, confidence. You saw, we were just talking about English language learners. Students where English wasn't even their first language, and they're interpreting these August Wilson characters. It's amazing. They're embodying these remarkable, beautifully written, deep characters.
Sorry for interrupting. Give us a couple of examples for those who don't know the great work of the great August Wilson. Give us a couple of examples.
Well, this is a great year for August Wilson because Fences is nominated for an Academy Award this year. Viola Davis won an Academy Award.
Did she make a speech?
I'm sorry. She made the speech of the year and was really remarkable. So August Wilson's 10 plays reflect the African-American experience in the decades from 1900 to 1999. So Fences is one of those plays, became a feature film. And then on Broadway, we had a really successful revival of Jitney.
We had the folks from Jitney here.
I know, and they were remarkable, and they're really, really great people.
Brandon Dearden was here.
Brendan, right, and he got to talk to our kids after the show.
What was that like?
They were blown away. So they come down from the mezzanine, and they're standing in, and Ruben, the director, is there as well. So there they are, the stars and the director, and they're standing in the theater, and they're talking about the process. And our students, many of them have never even seen live performance before or knew what a play was before they were involved in memorizing these monologues. And there they are in a Broadway theater talking to these actors. And when at intermission of Jitney, when the lights came down and then the house lights came up, they said, "It's so real." Yeah. So and then they're playing these characters themselves. It's a remarkable experience.
By the way, when I think about Brandon Dearden, I remember he was here. Georgette helped me on this when he played in Was It All the Way? He played Dr. King with Bryan Cranston in it as LBJ. An extraordinary.
Extraordinary actor.
So with those kids, my God, what an incredible role model and just that connection. Just powerful.
Yeah, I think we forget because we grew up exposed to live performance in every aspect of our lives as we were going through our educational process. Some of them have never even seen a full-length play before.
Yeah.
So they're actually, the 10 schools that are involved in the monologue experience are embodying those characters. The 10 schools that are involved in Leap on Stage are immersed in the playwriting process. So it helps them with linear, sequential thinking.
Now, Michael, help us understand this. How the heck are kids taught how to write a play, the playwriting part?
Well,
break that down.
First of all, we need to introduce what a play is When we say you're going to tell a story, we're going to tell a story that's of interest to you, and they're like, yeah, two guys are walking down the street and they're having a conversation, and they turn the corner, and then all of a sudden the building explodes across the way, and we're like, okay, well, this is theater now, and the difference is it's going to be hard to turn the corner. And it's the building exploding, we're going to try to stay away from things where there involve explosions and guns and things like that. But the two guys walking down the street having a conversation, that's a play. What are they talking about? Who are they? What differentiates one from the other?
Deeper.
And they go, oh. See, when kids are brought up in the electronic age, they think really, really quickly. They think in quick flashes.
Get to some sort of
5 seconds here, 10 seconds there.
And there's always some explosion or violence, which is what you stay away from.
And at the end, we have a no guns, no bomb policy. It's
good.
just it's easy to blow everybody up at the end, or to just solve the problem that way, or that's it. So instead, we make that the policy, and they're like, oh, okay. But we say, when we have these characters, how is one different from the other? Yeah, they're the same age, but are you the same as your peers? And what could they possibly be talking about? How does one speak compared to the other? What's their background? What's their family life like? What did they eat that day? So when a student is involved in the playwriting process, they're actually learning perspective, sequence, and linear thinking. And when we're talking about students who are English language learners, when they're involved in the creative process, you're actually speeding literacy and language learning, because they're not thinking about how they use the language, it's their character's use of the language.
So say a student is able to pull that off, learn, grow. Are these plays ever actually performed?
They're published by Samuel French, the play publishing company in the United States, in an anthology every year, 10 plays. I choose 10 plays from the 10 different schools. And then they're performed off-Broadway at the Pearl Theater, 5 plays one night, 5 plays another night. And so...
Are these kids there?
They're there with their parents.
What is that like?
The parents are, and their peers, right? So the school is cheering on their playwright.
One of their own.
Right. And we bring playwrights to do, one-on-one sessions with them. We have Broadway Day, where they get a chance to run their play in front of a professional panel. We welcome them into the theatrical community.
Why did you get, and how did you get involved in this? Got a minute left. Why?
I'm a theater professional for more than 30 years, and it's time to give back. And I desperately wanted to reach the students in this city who come from neighborhoods where they didn't have access to this art form. I'm here to promote and preserve my art form and make sure that it's accessible and available to everybody and allow them to have a voice as well. And I really mean that.
How rewarding?
I'm sorry?
How rewarding?
It is incredibly rewarding. Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. Michael Perreca. Perreca. I apologize, an Italian name. I screwed up. My parents will give me hell for that. Artistic Director, Theater Programs, Learning Through an Expanded Arts Program, otherwise known as LEAP. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paisan. Okay. Check you out next time on One-on-One. Thank you.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by NJIT, PSE&G, New Jersey Sharing Network, RWJ Barnabas Health, Johnson & Johnson, Verizon, and by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.